Hello, and welcome to the animated Doctor Who podcast. I'm Morgan.
I'm Kitty.
And I'm Brandon.
And today we're going to talk about our favorite doctors.
Starting easy / not at all easy.
No, not easy.
not even sort of simple.
Everyone has their favorite, or like their doctor.
Sure.
And just to clarify, I've seen the majority of the episodes throughout all the doctors, but I've also listened to a lot of the audio dramas and stuff.
I've seen all of the episodes on multiple occasions.
And I've seen all the episodes within the past year, but only once.
Cool. Brandon, who's your favorite?
No, I should go last. I have the best one.
Well then.
All right.
I mean, I can start.
Like,
David Tennant is
blazing.
my favorite. And he's a popular one, so it's probably his best that we start with him. And, well, I also kind of wanted, because I was expecting, Kitty, you to talk about your stages of grief philosophy behind it. And so that framework is a way that I have developed an argument of why David Tennant, that I identify with him, I think.
So I see, now to be clear, everything we're talking about here, except possibly for Morgan, is post reboot.
Yes,
Doctor Who.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about the Doctors pre-reboot. I couldn't tell you one from the other, not really. But one of the things that I started to see when I was watching Doctor Who for the first time, like you get this, Eccleston shows up and then Tennant and then Matt Smith, having the belief that they just massacred their entire planet, that they are the last of their species, blah, blah, blah. And I started to think that what you were seeing there were the stages of grief that their personalities fell into, because like with 9 you see actual like depression and sadness. He cries in a lot of episodes. You see a lot of regret. And then David Tennant is just anger, just just sort of, edging on rage about everything that he's lost and making sure that other people don't lose what he lost. And then you get Matt Smith, who I always felt like was denial, like he's running from the knowledge of what he did and how it affected him and his people and then of course you have the 50th anniversary where you find out that none of it was true, and that
but they do admit that, like the Doctor who's angry, the one who tried to forget.
And they say that in the 50th, and then you even get, Peter Capaldi you could almost see as bargaining, because he's trying so hard to like make deals with the universe on trying to find Gallifrey. Like, well, if it's out there, I want to find it.
Right.
And you see all these episodes where he's willing to make deals with Missy, actually that's the only example I can think of, is the one with Missy where he's trying to get her to tell him where Gallifrey is, kind of thing.
There's the whole button. So there's trying to help humans and what are the red people called?
Son of a...
Right, yeah.
The Zygons?
Zygons.
Yeah,
Zygons.
Yeah, so there is a lot of negotiating and bargaining. Mm-hmm. Not bargaining in the straightforward, like someone who's just lost someone praying to a higher being, but like there's this sort of bargaining to make the world a little bit better. Yeah.
So that's sort of the way that I view the core personalities of these Doctors as they developed. But my favorite Doctor is Matt Smith. So
you like denial, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Better than rage.
Not as authentic as rage, though. So if we'll get back to that, so that's why I think I like David Tennant. One, I think David Tennant is just an amazing actor.
Hands down.
I will say he is the best of all.
He is. Matt Smith is really good too, but David Tennant was able to show such a wide range of emotion. And I think I gravitate towards that. Like I like that kind of authenticity. But I also like him as this rage doctor, because I think, and so I have a little bit of a criticism, I guess, of American culture, but I'm also going to like take the American, like I find him to be the most American of the Doctors, because he in some ways like a vigilante. So he is nonviolent in certain ways. He doesn't like guns, right? He says that quite a few times. They all do, though.
Yeah.
But then he also gets pushed to the limit, and where the other reboot doctors will sometimes make a mistake because they don't react quickly enough. David Tennant never seems to do that. He's the Punisher. He's like, I can pick up all the Marvel superheroes and he feels like that to me. So I think maybe on some sort of cultural level, I'm watching him and he seems a little bit more like a hero that I recognize. Where the other doctors, and I love Doctor Who, but other than David Tennant, I find each of the other doctors a bit silly. And
I would agree with that.
The only time I find David Tennant silly is when he's gone off on this sort of like wordplay, which I don't find silly, I find it clever. Shakespearean, which again is British culture, not American culture, I guess. But yeah, so I think I identify with that. Like, he seems most relatable to me. He seems most like the heroes I want.
So I'm going to widen your definition there, because I do not disagree in the slightest that American culture tends to be more violent than you see in most other pop culture, I guess. But I would almost say that the anger that you're seeing makes David Tennant more human than any of the other doctors.
I agree.
Like Eccleston's and Matt Smith's and even Capaldi's capacity to forgive and to move on from this, these huge, sometimes villains who have done immensely evil things, like to not need retribution, to not need some sort of punishment is alien to us, is alien to us as human beings, whereas David Tennant is all about that. I'll give you one chance to change, and if you don't, I'm going to take out you and your whole family.
Yes, right, yeah. He's going to make certain there will not be another problem.
Yeah.
So, question. Do you find him less silly than Eccleston?
Yeah, because I find Eccleston mopey. Like, he seems cartoonish to me. Silly is probably not the right word. I find them all cartoonish.
Okay.
I find them caricatures of certain personalities, where I find Tennant to be well-rounded as a character. And also, and less silly. Like, he doesn't... I don't think there's hardly as many slapstick moments. You were talking about the Capaldi, just before we started this, about Capaldi and the dinosaur.
The tree.
Yeah. All of that. Yeah, no, so I maybe it's because he's more well-rounded. I don't know. But yeah, I find Eccleston also cartoonish.
That's fair. Sometimes Tennant's energy got a little bit too up there. Like, it's very eccentric sometimes.
Yeah.
That's a little much for me. Yeah,
especially with him and Donna. Him and Donna have a very not slapstick, but a very comedy
I agree.
Centric kind of dynamic.
It's like the wordplay, though.
Yeah.
It felt more Shakespearean. Now, I don't want to say that Doctor Who's Shakespeare, but Tennant gets us close.
Do you want to talk about your favorite Doctor, Morgan?
Not yet.
All right.
Okay, you already said you like Matt Smith.
Yeah, Matt Smith's my favorite. It actually took me a long time to decide that Matt Smith was my favorite, because...
I thought this was going to be you two talking about how much you both like Tennant and come up with different reasons.
See, I thought you were going to do Matt Smith this entire time, so I'm shocked that I was prepared to argue with you both.
I had to do some serious thinking about it, because when I started watching Doctor Who, all of Eccleston was already out, and 2 seasons of David Tennant were already out. And so I watched Eccleston, and I had just slightly gotten attached to him. Like, okay, this guy doesn't completely suck. Like, I'm starting to understand how this works. When he dies, he regenerates, and I'm like, what the heck? I didn't know anything about the show up to that point, so I was like, I don't understand what's happening. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
And then here comes David Tennant, and he is so much more engaging than Eccleston ever was, and the stories. The stories got smarter, and the dynamics just got better, and then you get Martha, who is such a cool companion, and then Donna, which is probably one of my favorite companions, and then Tennant dies.
That's right.
And I was so angry. I was so angry when they killed, because at this point I'm watching it as it's happening. Like I'm watching it on TV as these episodes come out. So Matt Smith had enormous shoes to fill, in my opinion. Just like nobody was ever going to be better than David Tennant. And it probably wasn't until his second season that I started to decide that he was.
That he was better than David Tennant.
I'm sorry. I think he's better than David Tennant. I find his childlike enthusiasm for life and the people around him and to be much more interesting, much more engaging than the constant anger kind of thing. But then also this like dark underbelly to him that I mean, you really see it with Clara. You really start to see his, like, I love the line, like, don't trust him. He's got a sliver of ice in his heart, you know, like, but he's always got just this, if you just strip away the surface, he is running so hard from the trauma of his past that like, everything about him, it just hurts. Everything about him hurts. And I find, like, that dynamic, I don't know, I found the stories and everything with him so much more fun than David Tennant was.
They're more intense. They're highly dramatic, and I think that there's more high drama with Matt Smith. I mean, how many times did Matt Smith basically die before he really died?
Before he really died. Although, I mean, Tennant straight up regenerated once and like killed by Daleks, straight up regenerated, and then managed somehow to stay himself.
Yeah, that's true. That felt like it all happened more quickly. Matt Smith was drug out.
Oh yeah.
And this is going to sound a little like I find it a bit more operatic. I find Matt Smith operatic. Where again, I'm going to go back to saying that David Tennant felt more like Shakespeare drama. Where Shakespeare drama, when dramatic things happen, it's usually like,
bam.
Oh my God, Ophelia just killed herself. And now let's have this beautiful monologue about this. So.
Yeah, true. But I liked Matt Smith's, the drama involved there. It gave you time to consider, what he was giving up, depending on which episodes you want to talk about, but, like, what he was giving up. Like, for instance, losing Amy and Rory.
Right.
That was such a dynamic, because he is sad both because he's lost these friends that he developed these sincere attachments to, that he lost them suddenly and in a way he wasn't expecting. And that he's now alone. And you can see the selfishness underneath all of the rest of it, too. That he would have been totally okay if Amy had abandoned Rory and just been like, no, I'll just hang out with you, rather than leave him alone.
Yeah.
Like, he'd have been all right with that.
Yeah, that's right. We get to see him struggle with loneliness in a way that Tennant
goes off the deep end.
That's true.
He does.
But I would almost call that his deep end the vigilante stuff that you were talking about.
I think so, yes.
That without somebody to rein him in, Tennant goes, Water on Mars, and he goes hardcore.
Tennant has some of the best episodes.
So does Matt Smith spend a lot of time alone? Or is it he loses Amy and Rory, and then Clara, Victorian stuff happens? Is it the next episode?
Well, the Clara stuff's happening while Amy and Rory is there. Because remember, Clara is spliced between his time streams. So we get to see he gets Clara twice before he actually meets Clara. One of those is definitely during an Amy episode. The other one's during a Christmas episode.
I don't think we ever really see him travel alone.
Yeah, because I'm thinking he loses them, then it's the episode with the ice, the snowman.
Yeah, that's right.
And then the next episode is him finding the real Clara.
Yeah.
Now we see periods where they allude to him spending time alone, but we never see him alone the way that we did
do with Tennant. Yeah.
Which,
in fact, one of my favorite episodes, if we get to a favorite episode podcast, is going to be an episode where he's technically with Donna, But the entire episode, he's by himself.
I dislike you already.
I love that
We're gonna
episode
have
so
to argue
much.
so hard about that.
I love that episode so much.
You would.
Yeah.
I think I like Matt Smith's more just because his episodes are, I don't know if happier is the right word, but David Tennant goes through a lot of crap. He's always, like, I watched the end of his, like, I caught up with the last of his episodes recently. And there's, like, unhappy thing after unhappy thing after unhappy thing. And then he goes off to David by himself and does super unhappy things. And it's just, like...
You can't run on rage. I mean, he's almost like the Doctor's own, like...
That's...
You know, lifetime special or whatever. You can't just operate on anger all the time. Like
he's not always angry. It's just bubbling beneath the surface.
Yeah.
But for me, like, David Tennant's an amazing actor for sure.
Yeah.
And like those are good episodes, but they're not fun for me to watch. Where like most of Matt Smith's episodes are fun.
Yeah. That is okay. Yeah, I agree with that. But I think I want something. I want tragedy, and I think that David Tennant gives me tragedy.
That's fair. Because David Tennant is kind of like all of his episodes are a little bit tragic. Not all of them. There are plenty that are that are fun. Although they do all tend to have some dark moment hidden in them. But
even his relationship to his companions. So he has 3 companions, 3 main companions. Each of them, even Donna. It's a sad story.
Oh my God, they're all sad.
All 3 of them are very
awful.
sad stories.
I mean, Rose is the only one that you could argue maybe gets a happy ending.
Oh, I don't think she does. No.
But it's still it's still terrible. And Donna
Martha?
is just. Well, I mean,
Martha goes on to be a general, and she does get a partner, but it seems like a war-torn, like, because she lives because she's also in that alternate reality too, isn't she?
No.
Because we see her later, and she's like gun-toting, and
she's with Mickey Smith, but that's our.
Yeah, Mickey comes back.
That's right.
And she's. I don't know if she's part of UNIT or...
Yeah, she's in UNIT, but there's sort of like this, maybe she left UNIT for Torchwood. Maybe at the end.
Yeah,
she's freelancing.
That's
Mickey
right.
Mickey convinces her to go freelancing, and they're off
the
potato people.
Still doesn't
Thank you.
Still doesn't feel happy though. Like it feels like war torn. And Donna goes back to a kind of boring existence.
Donna's
Rose gets an alternate reality that she knows is not real, where she gets a doctor that she knows is not real. That is sad.
Yeah, that's true. I would argue that Donna's is the harshest
so too.
Any of the ones.
Yeah, Donna.
But Martha ends up with the
another. Yeah.
I mean, she ends up with the family with severe PTSD that she then has to take care of. But one of the things that I do like about Matt Smith's episodes when it comes to tragedy is that like David Tennant's episodes tend to have this like underlying slightly dark edge to them the whole time, whereas Matt Smith has these moments where like you're going along and we're all having fun and we're on an adventure, and then whatever the dark thing is kicks you in the friggin' teeth.
Yeah, that's true.
Like the first episode with Amy on the TARDIS, where they're running around on the floating, England floating through space or whatever. And you're running around and you're having a good time, and it all seems you find out it's this, they've built their city on the back of this whale, and they're torturing constantly, and like it's fantastic. But yeah, Matt Smith is good at that. Like his episodes are they feel really happy until something just like comes up and bops you right.
And not every episode does that though.
Yeah, no.
So it spaces it out a little bit more.
No.
Yeah.
So, my favorite, definitely the 8th Doctor, Paul McGann.
Which neither of us will be able to argue
with. Yeah, I can't argue against. But so what do you like about him, though?
Yeah.
So, he is before the reboot, so before the Time War. So, he doesn't have that guilt or that burden or that past he's running from. And, like, he's just charming in general. Just, like, he's nice. He's very pleasant. Like, he's not the high energy like Tennant or even Matt Smith, but he's not grumpy or angry like Eggleston is. He's just like, he's on adventures, he's having fun, he picks up a command, they go do their things, and there's like, there's no burden. He's just adventuring for the sake of adventuring. Like,
right, yeah,
the biggest thing he's done is he stole a TARDIS and he ran away from
his douchebag Time Lord
friends
or family or whatever.
And so he's before the War Doctor. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's right, because there's
Right.
that one
So-
little mini episode where he goes to become the War Doctor. I
Yeah,
remember
the
that,
seventh. Just to break this down, the 7th Doctor regenerates into the 8th Doctor.
Yeah.
The 8th Doctor stars in a feature-length film, right? Called...
The 7th Doctor regenerates into the 8th Doctor in the Doctor Who, the movie.
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
that all happened in the movie. Like, they got the 7th Doctor to come back. Because he had an episode...
And that's in the 80s? Is that when that happens?
That was 90s.
Oh, it was 90s, okay.
I want to say, like, maybe 90s?
That's right. So there's not that big of a gap between the old Doctor and the reboot.
They're like a 10-year.
Yeah.
That's not terrible.
Or something like... They're like, there's the old Doctor Who, there's that few-year gap, there's a movie, few-year gap, then the
reboot.
Sure, yeah. Enough time for the world to change because of the internet. But not that much time.
Yeah. So, and then... But we have not physically seen... Peter McGann, right, is who Paul McGann plays the 8th Doctor. And other than this little... not spoofs, but this little mini episode thing that he does before he becomes the War Doctor. There's not much visually of him.
Nope.
But there's a ton of audio book
the audio
stuff.
plays.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which were like coming out in that gap between like the movie and the reboot. Like he was out there, they kept writing stories. And that, like all the Doctor Who you could get was like listening to these radio programs.
Do we know who the writer or producers were? Was there any sort of... Because the reboot is done entirely by a new set of producers, right?
There were different writers and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, the TV show, they rebooted, like they want to start fresh, so they sort of...
Yeah.
That's why they didn't bring him back for that.
Which I get.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's very lighthearted. All the other Doctors have like this cruel streak to him.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Smith maybe not as much.
He can.
No, he does.
can.
A little
He
bit.
can.
I would say Capaldi is the least. He has the least amount of a mean streak.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. But like
Yeah.
Tennant definitely had it.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And,
Like,
Tennant trapped a little girl in a mirror forever. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, yeah. Tennant can be dark when he wants to.
Sometimes things are necessary.
Sorry.
True.
Oh.
And like I know like he is still making these audio adventures like and they're up to the Time War now. So I'm sure it gets heavier.
Oh.
And I think the tone changes more to match modern Doctor Who. But
I can see the appeal of that though. So it's a Doctor that you've been able to really grow attached to, which is more akin to, from what I understand, of the older Doctors. So that I can understand an appeal to that.
he's very chill, and like it doesn't hurt that Paul McGann has a very pleasant voice to listen to. So you're just listening to all this stuff.
Right.
It's just a good time, and it's also like this purely personal, subjective. Like you have your doctor, and you have your doctor, but like you all have seen each other's.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
You've seen everything that she has for her doctor, and she has everything for your doctor. Like most people haven't seen Paul McGann, so like when he's like my doctor sounds like very personal. 'Cause, like I've heard some of his interviews, you guys haven't.
Yeah.
I had like a comic book over there, like you guys haven't read, like you guys haven't seen the movie, so like.
Well, maybe we should revisit this after we have familiarized ourselves with the Eighth Doctor.
We're going to watch that movie sometime.
Oh, that would be fun. Yeah,
We'd
that
have to
would
find it first.
yeah.
Apparently, that's not easy.
You can get it.
Okay.
Just Amazon UK.
Okay. Well, I just mean like I haven't been able to like it's not on Netflix, it's not on Hulu. We're gonna have to like find it. But
This is like it's nice. I think the main thing is aside from just his general personality, he was just very pleasant. He doesn't brag that much. He doesn't show off. He name drops like I haven't hung out with Bubble or had tea with so and so. Like he does that. So, but from what I've heard so far, he never shows off. Like he'll admit that he's clever, but he won't like rub it in your face that he's smart.
Right.
He'll do like you should listen to me because I'm smart. But, like he doesn't look down on people.
Yeah.
Which I feel like all the other doctors.
Yeah.
You don't get that a whole lot with Eccleston.
No, you don't with Eccleston.
Listen,
Eccleston is like he's forced into a corner and then he'll solve something.
He's more
a lot too. But.
he's more just running.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, he has his own things he's trying to deal with.
I think if you take the anger out of Eccleston, you pretty much have the Eighth Doctor. They're very similar.
Yeah. There might have been some the producers encouraged that kind of continuity.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everything in the audio plays and stuff is BBC approved. Like, so technically everything is canon, like that you've read or seen or whatever.
Yeah, because there are a lot of audio play like they had to submit their stories to BBC to get approved. Like they wanted to do something with Winston Churchill,
Yeah.
but it was before he was about to show up in the show. So like, you can't do that. We're about to use him.
Yeah.
There is some communication there. And then in the Night of the Doctor mini episode, like he's about to take that drink and turn into the War Doctor, and he name drops like all of his companions from the audio and the radio plays.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
That's kind of neat. Yeah, so that definitely kind of ties it all up. Ties it in, I mean. So
He's my favorite. He's just very chill.
Yeah. That is fitting.
It's
for
fun.
you, for you to have the chill
Doctor.
Do you guys have least favorite? Like, you don't have to, not too harp on them, but this one you don't enjoy watching as much as the others.
Yeah, Eccleston, absolutely.
Eccleston.
I love Rose. I love Rose to pieces, and she might be my favorite companion. I'll have to think about that more. But it's harder for me to pick a favorite companion than it is to pick a favorite Doctor. But yeah, Eccleston I could do without him, in fact.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could just start with Tennant and be, which feels, I would feel bad about, like, if I didn't feel like Eccleston just, like, totally snubbed the show for some reason. Just, decided, whatever, screw all of you guys. And it's not, apparently there's been some, I don't know, bad blood between him and the producers and stuff. And I get that. Like, sometimes people don't get along they're working with. But that doesn't mean that, like, you've got this serious following, people who know your name simply because you were this one character. It's not like your acting career took off, in masterful directions or anything. No, and I mean, like,
British television.
That's true.
Yeah, he's not as famous as Tennant or Matt Smith.
But he won't show up to Comic-Cons. He didn't come. Like they wrote an entire script around him for the 50th anniversary, and he turned it down. Why? These are very loyal fans. Why would you?
Yeah, if we'd gotten more of him, if he had 3 seasons or series, as they say it over there, and he came back for the 50th anniversary, maybe we would see more good in him. But in the meantime, it felt like if I had only had the first season of Capaldi, I wouldn't have liked him.
Oh yeah, I'm with you on that one.
I needed
Capaldi,
the second and third made it better for me.
Yeah. Capaldi took some work to grow on me. And I really don't think that's the actor's fault. Like I
Actually, I think he was doing the right thing. It was what they're trying to grapple with was a bit different.
Right. Yeah.
And it took a while. And then there's also the glasses and the guitar. I have trouble with it. Yeah. But I love Clara in that too. So again, the companions often get me through, even when the doctors are not doing it for me. So
my roughest patch to get through so far has been David Tennant and Donna, which I know people's favorite.
Just some of the best stuff.
I know you're so.
It has layers though. Like I think they need to be watched a couple times, and you have to understand that even the comedy is tragedy. Like I just mean like there's such depth. Yeah.
I'm not arguing it. It's just
Morgan doesn't argue.
I know. Yeah. Well, you're gonna have to watch one of those episodes because if we do the swap in favorite episodes, it's in that series.
I'll watch it.
Yeah.
It's going off what you said. Like the companions carry you through. Like for me, like, David Tennant's my least favorite, just because
you're about to harp on Donna.
If you talk about Catherine Tate on this podcast, I will flip this microphone over. She is a genius.
She is a genius. You leave Catherine Tate alone.
Okay. See how it is. Well then.
I'm sorry. I don't completely disagree, and I'm only talking for you because we've already had this discussion on multiple occasions. But
it's his episodes are hard to get through because they're so. I can only watch so much of someone being not happy.
Yeah, that's true.
Before going,
it's difficult.
Yeah.
And nothing against the actress, but Donna's personality just grates on me a lot.
Really?
So like,
well, I think she's supposed to.
Yeah, she is supposed
I think that's right.
It works.
Yeah. She's a part of a comedy.
It
works. I mean, that's the thing in comedy right now. So the sort of dark comic figures, like there's a lot of like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's like kind of a perfect example. Like the characters are supposed to be. Yeah, those are likable characters, though.
Oh, Bojack is a terrible person.
No, but the other ones around him. Like, so if you watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, they're all awful. Even the so-called good people around them are annoying. Catherine Tate's nowhere near that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think that she's supposed to be grating.
And see, it's one of the things that I love the most about Donna is watching that growth, watching her evolve from somebody who probably spends all of their time watching The Real Housewives of Orlando or whatever the frick the latest
Bristol,
one is.
like, yeah.
And never thinks about anything deeper than that.
We could, not to interrupt, but
no, you're
we
good.
can say that for we're going to do a companion episode.
Right.
Right. We should say the companions. That
we'll
might
have this argument
that might have
with
to
you
be a
another day.
two-part. That might have to be a two-parter.
Yeah,
Like,
I wanted you guys to
there's a
yell at me
lot
for
of
not
really
liking
great
Donna.
companions.
Yeah, us defending Catherine Tate from you heartless bastard.
I need to show you some other things that she's done.
I have nothing against the actress.
Yeah.
She's
Just the character.
I like that character too. And again, we'll just
we're,
have to hold it.
we're so bad at this.
So next time, I think we're going to do the favorite episodes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you guys already have one picked out? Or is it something we need to talk about after we start recording?
I say because I do have it, but I don't remember its name. Again, I've only watched things
I can
once.
tell you.
Yeah, do you remember its name?
Yeah, Midnight.
Is it called Midnight? The one on the train?
Yeah.
They call that Midnight?
Yep.
It makes me like it even more.
So Midnight with David.
David Tennant.
That's David Tennant.
Okay.
So this is when he leaves Donna on a spa island, the Diamond Planet, and gets on a train to go, which is this is something that I would do.
It's the name of the planet.
It's Midnight.
Midnight.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something I would do. I went to Mexico and I go to Chichen Itza. I'm like, let's spend a day going here, and then bad things happen on the way.
And do you have a favorite episode?
So many.
I'm just saying, if you can pick one, so if someone listens to this, they can watch one by the time.
So that they, we can put that in the description.
I'll tell you what. What's yours?
Off the top of my head, is the first Matt Smith episode.
Okay.
You don't want to give us one of the Eighth Doctor's episodes? Okay.
I could.
If we have some,
I'll do that. I'll do that.
I kind of would like to. Yeah.
There's a story called "The Chimes of Midnight," which I will give you guys a copy of it.
Okay. Yeah.
It's my favorite one I've heard so far.
Yeah. That I look forward to that.
God.
Is Midnight in your title too? That would be perfect.
I didn't even catch that.
So. Oh wait, did it? What's the title of yours? I guess I wasn't listening.
Chimes of Midnight.
Oh jeez. No, what is the name of mine? It's the one with the adipose. Where Donna first finds.
Oh, it's also a David Tennant episode.
David Tennant.
Yeah. That one is a good one too.
Yeah.
That's funnier though.
I
mean,
don't know.
we just talked about how depressing Tennant is, but that's actually more uplifting.
It's a very, very light episode,
Yeah.
except for his admitting at the end about how Martha affected him.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of that one.
I can't remember the name of it either.
But it's the first.
It's the first episode of the season with Donna as a companion.
Mm-hmm.
So that's season 4.
Well, if you break it down in American terms, yeah, I think so.
Or series 4.
Yeah, it has to be. Yeah, because he goes Rose. Because David Tennant's also the one that has the most companions.
Yeah, it's Eggleston, then Tennant Rose, Tennant Martha,
Tennant Donna.
So
be season 4.
Season 4, episode 1.
And I'm not even absolutely sure that that's my favorite episode. It's just the first one that came to my brain. It's definitely an episode I don't mind watching over and over again, kind of thing. It makes me laugh. I love those two in that episode.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's
so
exciting.
Next time, we'll do Midnight for the episode. Chimes of Midnight for me.
And adipose something or other.
Season 4, episode 1.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for listening to the Animated Doctor Who podcast.
Bye.
Bye.